Hello, welcome to our channel. Today we're going to explore the powerful principles of Stoicism that can transform your life, helping you control your emotions and become a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. If you are looking for emotional balance and personal growth, you are in the right place. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell, and share this video with your friends so that more people can benefit from these valuable lessons. Let's start. 7 Stoic rules for controlling your emotions. Number 1. Emotional control. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that values reason and virtue, teaches that emotional control is fundamental to achieving inner peace and happiness. This principle does not suggest that we should repress or ignore our emotions, but rather that we should learn to manage them in an intelligent and constructive way. Instead of seeing emotions as the enemy, Stoicism encourages us to see them as powerful tools that, when used well, can help us achieve our goals and live a fuller life. For example, anger, when channeled productively, can be a motivating force to correct injustices or overcome challenges. Likewise, sadness can lead us to deep reflection and personal growth, helping us to appreciate moments of joy more intensely. The first step to controlling our emotions is developing self-awareness. We must become keen observers of our own feelings, recognizing when we are being overcome by intense emotions. This self-awareness allows us to pause, reflect, and respond in a more balanced way, rather than reacting impulsively. Stoic philosophy values reason above all else. When we find ourselves in emotionally charged situations, it is important to practice rational reflection. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this? Is this emotion based on facts or distorted perceptions? How can I respond in a way that aligns with my values and goals? This practice helps to reduce the intensity of negative emotions and increase mental clarity. Our emotions are often fueled by events outside of our control. Stoicism teaches us to accept that we cannot change what happens around us, but we can control how we react to those events. This acceptance frees us from many feelings of frustration and despair, allowing us to focus our energy on what we can truly influence. Stoics believe that we should transform our emotions into actions that reflect our values and virtues. For example, if we feel afraid when faced with a challenge, we can use this emotion to better prepare ourselves and act with courage. If we feel empathy for the pain of others, we can use this feeling to practice compassion and generosity. Finally, Stoicism encourages us to cultivate serenity, an inner tranquility that remains unshakable even in the face of adversity. Serenity does not mean the absence of emotion, but rather an emotional stability that allows us to face the ups and downs of life with equanimity and dignity. Emotional control, according to Stoicism, is an essential skill that allows us to live in accordance with our values, achieve our goals, and find true happiness. By learning to manage our emotions, we not only improve our own lives, but we also positively influence those around us. Adopt this Stoic principle and see how it can transform your personal journey. Number 2. Eliminate toxic people. The people we live with play a crucial role in shaping our emotions, thoughts, and overall well-being. According to Stoic philosophy, the quality of our relationships is vital to maintaining inner peace and emotional harmony. Just as one rotten fruit can spoil all the others around it, toxic individuals have the potential to drain our energy, undermine our self-confidence, and hinder our personal progress. Toxic people can take many forms. They may be constant pessimists, incessant complainers, conflict creators, or individuals who have a negative outlook on life. This type of behavior can be contagious, affecting our mental and emotional state. When we surround ourselves with negativity, we begin to absorb that energy, which can leave us feeling insecure, unmotivated, and emotionally exhausted. One of the pillars of Stoicism is self-control. To preserve our inner peace, we need to be selective with who we choose to be around us. We cannot control the behavior of others, but we have the power to choose our relationships. Stoic philosophy reminds us that our tranquility is precious and we must protect it diligently. Diogenes, a renowned Stoic philosopher, once said that we have 2 ears and 1 tongue so we can hear more and speak less. This advice is particularly relevant when dealing with toxic people. We must be aware of the influences we allow into our lives, listening to our intuition, and carefully evaluating the impact of our relationships. This doesn't mean we should be cold or indifferent, but rather that we should be conscious about who we choose to share our time and energy with. Imagine being in a situation where a friend or colleague is constantly complaining and bad-mouthing others. Initially, you can try to be understanding and offer support. However, over time, you realize that every interaction with this person leaves you feeling heavy and negative. Stoicism teaches us that to protect our inner peace, it is sometimes necessary to reduce or even completely cut off contact with people who do not contribute positively to our lives. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of living a virtuous and meaningful life. This may involve making difficult decisions, such as breaking off relationships that no longer serve us. This is not an attitude of hostility, but rather a measure to ensure that our emotional environment supports and inspires us. By eliminating toxic people from our lives, we create space for relationships that uplift and motivate us. Cutting ties with toxic people facilitates our personal growth and helps us maintain an optimistic outlook. Without the negativity these people bring, we have more energy and clarity to focus on our goals. Furthermore, surrounding yourself with positive and supportive people creates an environment conducive to development and success. Eliminating toxic people is not an act of selfishness, but an essential step on the path to autonomy and spiritual freedom. According to Stoic philosophy, we have a responsibility to seek our own happiness and peace. This often means moving away from negative influences to cultivate an environment that nurtures our well-being. Choosing wisely who we spend our time with is essential to maintaining our inner peace and growing as individuals. Stoic philosophy teaches us that by protecting our emotional and energetic space, we are empowering ourselves to live a fuller, more meaningful life. Eliminate toxic people from your life and see how it can transform your personal journey for the better. Number 3. Set limits. Establishing personal boundaries is a vital component to maintaining our sense of self, inner peace, and overall well-being. In Stoic philosophy, defining and respecting our own limits is seen as an essential form of self-protection and self-management. Without these boundaries, we run the risk of becoming emotionally overwhelmed, exhausted, and stressed, which can lead to a range of physical and mental problems. Personal boundaries are essentially the boundaries we set to protect ourselves from negative external influences and to ensure that our needs and values are respected. They help us manage our time, energy, and resources effectively, avoiding overwhelm and burnout. When we set clear boundaries, we communicate to others what is acceptable and what is not, creating an environment of mutual respect and understanding. One of the most valuable resources we have is time. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, highlighted that nothing is ours except time. We often waste our precious time meeting the demands of others, often to the detriment of our own needs. Without boundaries, we can find ourselves constantly available to others while neglecting our own well-being. By setting limits, we learn to value our time and energy, reserving moments for rest and self-care. Consider the example of someone who is always willing to work overtime and accept every request for help without ever saying no. This person may quickly feel exhausted and unmotivated. By applying Stoic principles, this person begins to set clear boundaries for their time. She decides, for example, not to work past a certain time and dedicate her evenings to her hobbies or family. This practice not only preserves your energy, but also improves your quality of life and productivity. Setting boundaries is key to maintaining a healthy work-life balance. Without these boundaries, we can easily get lost in a cycle of continuous work, neglecting our personal and emotional needs. This can lead to burnout and a range of mental health problems. Boundaries help us create space for relaxation and reflection, allowing us to recharge and face life's demands with a clear, balanced mind. Boundaries also help us to be more responsible and aware in our relationships. When we know and clearly communicate our limits, we are able to interact with others in a healthier and more sustainable way. This not only protects us from negative influences, but also allows us to be more present and genuine in our interactions. Many people are hesitant to set limits because they fear appearing selfish or uncaring. However, setting limits is not an act of selfishness, but rather a demonstration of self-care and self-respect. When we care for ourselves, we are better able to care for others effectively and compassionately. Healthy boundaries allow us to be emotionally present and support those around us without burning out. The practice of setting limits teaches us to listen to our inner needs and respond to them with wisdom and consideration. Instead of reacting impulsively or allowing emotions to overwhelm us, we learn to act thoughtfully and deliberately. This strengthens our emotional resilience and helps us face challenges with calm and purpose. Setting limits is an essential practice for anyone seeking to live a balanced and meaningful life. By recognizing and respecting our own needs and limitations, we cultivate an environment that allows us to thrive emotionally, mentally, and physically. Stoic philosophy reminds us that the key to a fulfilling life lies in our ability to manage our emotions and resources wisely. Start defining and communicating your limits today, and see how this practice can transform your life. Number 4. Balance and love. Love is one of the deepest and most rewarding emotions we can experience. It connects us to others, brings us joy, and enriches our lives in countless ways. However, excessive attachment and emotional dependence can turn this beautiful emotion into a source of suffering and anxiety. Stoic philosophy offers us a path to love healthily while maintaining our emotional independence and balance. Loving someone deeply is a wonderful experience, but when we become overly attached, we run the risk of placing our emotional well-being in someone else's hands. This can leave us vulnerable to disappointment, hurt, and loss of identity. Stoicism teaches us that we should love freely, but with the awareness that our emotions should not depend on the actions or opinions of others. Emotional independence does not mean a lack of affection or emotional detachment, but rather the ability to maintain our own stability and inner peace regardless of external circumstances. According to Stoicism, we must cultivate a love that respects both the freedom of others and our own. This allows us to form deep connections without getting lost in them. True emotional independence is achieved when we can love intensely and, at the same time, maintain our own identity and autonomy. Imagine a relationship where one party becomes excessively emotionally dependent, always seeking validation and security from the other. This imbalance can lead to conflicts, jealousy, and even the deterioration of the relationship. By applying Stoic principles, this person would begin to work on their emotional self-sufficiency. She would learn to value and cultivate her own sources of happiness and security, reducing pressure on her partner and strengthening the relationship. Stoicism teaches us that emotional resilience is fundamental to loving in a healthy way. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, stated that we have power over our minds, not external events. By applying this wisdom, we understand that when loving, we must focus on our own reactions and attitudes, rather than trying to control or change the behavior of another. This allows us to face challenges and disagreements in the relationship with calm and balance. Finding a balance between love and self-sufficiency means appreciating the presence of others without losing connection with yourself. We must cultivate our own passions, interests, and friendships, ensuring that our happiness does not depend solely on one person. This balance allows us to enjoy love in a full and healthy way, without becoming emotionally dependent. Stoicism encourages the practice of healthy detachment, which should not be confused with indifference. Healthy detachment is the ability to love deeply, but without allowing love to control our emotions and actions. This involves accepting that life is impermanent and that people can come and go from our lives. When we practice healthy detachment, we value each moment and relationship, but we also accept the possibility of change and loss with serenity. Number 5. Express feelings with caution. In situations of pressure and conflict, the ability to remain calm and serene is crucial for emotional well-being and the health of our relationships. Stoicism teaches us that while it is important to express our feelings and opinions, we should do so in a considered and careful way. Reacting impulsively, driven by intense emotions, often leads to unnecessary conflicts and can harm our relationships. Stoic practice encourages us to develop balanced and conscious communication, promoting harmony and mutual understanding. Maintaining calm and serenity in moments of pressure is one of the pillars of Stoic philosophy. Instead of letting negative emotions overwhelm us, the Stoics advise us to take a moment to reflect before responding. This allows us to assess the situation clearly and choose a response that is constructive and beneficial to all parties involved. Serenity not only helps us avoid impulsive reactions, but also demonstrates maturity and self-control, characteristics highly valued in Stoicism. Expressing feelings thoughtfully means communicating our thoughts and emotions clearly and respectfully. When faced with challenging situations, we must make a conscious effort to understand others' point of view before expressing our own. This practice helps us build bridges of understanding and resolve conflicts peacefully. Additionally, by expressing our feelings thoughtfully, we show others that we value the relationship and are willing to work together to find solutions. Consider a situation at work where a colleague makes a comment that makes us angry. Instead of reacting immediately and possibly saying something we might regret, the Stoic approach would be to take a deep breath and reflect on the comment. We could then approach the colleague calmly, expressing our feelings without aggression. "When you said that, I felt devalued. Can we talk about that?" This approach not only avoids unnecessary confrontation, but also opens up space for constructive dialogue. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of avoiding unnecessary conflict. Conflicts often arise from misunderstandings or emotional overreactions. By practicing cautious expression of feelings, we can minimize these situations and promote an environment of respect and collaboration. The ability to communicate effectively and thoughtfully is essential for maintaining healthy and harmonious relationships, whether at work, family, or other social contexts. The practice of expressing feelings cautiously also helps us develop patience and understanding. By taking a step back to consider another's perspective, we exercise empathy and tolerance. This allows us to respond in ways that contribute to positive problem resolution rather than exacerbating tensions. Patience and understanding are qualities that strengthen our relationships and help us build deeper and more meaningful connections. Expressing feelings thoughtfully and cautiously has a direct positive impact on our relationships. The people around us feel more respected and valued when they see that we make an effort to communicate clearly and carefully. This strengthens mutual trust and respect, essential elements for any healthy relationship. Furthermore, by avoiding impulsive reactions, we reduce the likelihood of future regret and hurt feelings. The cautious expression of feelings is a fundamental practice for those seeking to live according to Stoic principles. By remaining calm and composed in times of pressure and communicating our feelings and opinions in a thoughtful manner, we promote harmony and understanding in our relationships. This approach not only helps us avoid unnecessary conflict, but also strengthens our connections with others, allowing us to live a more balanced and fulfilling life. Adopting this Stoic practice is an important step towards developing emotional resilience and building relationships based on respect and understanding. Number 6. Controlled compassion. Compassion is a fundamental virtue that connects us to others and motivates us to act for the well-being of others. However, for the Stoics, compassion must be exercised with discernment and control. This means we must be careful in determining where and how we invest our empathy and emotional effort. Practicing controlled compassion helps us distinguish between what we can control and what is beyond our reach, protecting our emotions and ensuring our actions are genuine and impactful. Exercising compassion indiscriminately can lead to emotional exhaustion and burnout. Stoicism teaches us to be selective in our displays of compassion, focusing our efforts on situations where we can truly make a difference. This does not mean being cold or insensitive, but rather channeling our energy in an effective and sustainable way. By applying discernment, we can offer support in a more focused and effective way, ensuring our actions have a lasting positive impact. One of the central tenets of Stoicism is the distinction between what we can control and what we cannot. Our emotions and reactions are under our control, while external events and the actions of others are not. By applying this principle to compassion, we learn to invest our time and energy in situations where our intervention can be effective. This protects us from the frustrations and disappointments that come with trying to change what is beyond our control, allowing us to maintain a balanced and healthy perspective. Imagine you have a friend who constantly engages in self-destructive behaviors despite your advice and support. Controlled compassion, in this case, involves recognizing that you can't change your friend's behavior, but you can offer emotional support and be there when they're ready to make positive changes. This prevents you from becoming emotionally exhausted trying to resolve a problem that is beyond your control, while also remaining willing to help in a meaningful way when needed. By exercising controlled compassion, we protect our emotions from unnecessary strain. This not only preserves our energy, but also allows us to be emotionally available to those who truly need our support and where we can make a difference. Protecting our emotions is crucial to maintaining our long-term mental and emotional health, ensuring that we do not become overwhelmed or resentful due to over-involvement in situations beyond our control. Investing our time and energy in meaningful ways is a Stoic practice that helps us live a more balanced and productive life. By focusing on actions that really matter and where we can make a positive impact, we increase the effectiveness of our efforts and promote constructive change. This does not mean that we should ignore the difficulties of others, but rather that we should be strategic and conscious when choosing where to place our attention and resources. Controlled compassion ensures that our actions are genuine and not just impulsive reactions to the needs of others. By reflecting on how best to help, we ensure our support is authentic and beneficial. Genuine actions, grounded in thoughtful compassion, are more sustainable and have a deeper impact, both on ourselves and the people we help. This focus also helps us avoid emotional burnout, allowing us to continue to be a consistent, positive source of support. The practice of controlled compassion, as taught by Stoicism, helps us act with discernment and effectiveness. By distinguishing between what we can and cannot control, we protect our emotions and ensure our support is meaningful and impactful. This approach allows us to offer genuine, focused help, promoting positive change without overwhelming ourselves emotionally. Adopting controlled compassion is an essential step towards living according to Stoic principles, cultivating emotional resilience, and contributing to the well-being of others in a sustainable and balanced way. Number 7. Prioritize yourself. Putting yourself first is a vital principle for maintaining our emotional and physical health. In Stoicism, this is not seen as selfishness, but as a necessity for well-being and the ability to help others effectively. Prioritizing yourself means taking care of our needs, respecting our limits, and focusing on our personal growth without worrying excessively about other people's opinions. Honesty and self-protection are key components that help us face challenges with courage and continually grow. Putting ourselves first involves actively taking care of our emotional and physical health. This can involve anything from practicing physical activity, maintaining a balanced diet, and ensuring time for rest, to seeking psychological support when necessary. Maintaining good physical and emotional health is the foundation for coping with life's demands and being able to support others in meaningful ways. Focusing on personal improvement is a central practice in Stoicism. This involves developing our skills, cultivating virtues such as wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation, and constantly seeking self-knowledge. Personal improvement enables us to face life's challenges with greater resilience and makes us stronger and more balanced individuals. Stoicism encourages us to see every obstacle as an opportunity for growth and learning. Worrying excessively about the opinions of others can be paralyzing and impede our growth. Stoicism teaches us that true happiness comes from living in accordance with our values and principles, not external approval. By focusing on our own goals and well-being, we learn to value our opinions above those of others, which gives us the freedom to live authentically and fulfilling lives. Being honest with yourself and others is crucial for personal growth. Honesty allows us to face our weaknesses and work to overcome them. Additionally, being honest in our interactions strengthens our relationships and builds mutual trust. Self-protection, in turn, helps us establish clear limits, avoiding situations that could harm our emotional and physical well-being. Protecting ourselves from negative influences gives us the strength we need to continue growing and thriving. Courage is an essential Stoic virtue that allows us to face challenges head-on. When we prioritize ourselves, we develop the courage to make difficult decisions and face adversity with a positive attitude. Courage helps us overcome fears and insecurities, allowing us to act with confidence and determination. Facing challenges with courage is essential for personal growth and building a full and meaningful life. Stoicism teaches us that growth is an ongoing process. By prioritizing our needs and focusing on personal improvement, we are constantly evolving and becoming better versions of ourselves. Continuous growth involves being open to new experiences, learning from mistakes, and constantly seeking to develop our capabilities and virtues. This journey of personal growth leads us to a more balanced, resilient, and rewarding life. Imagine that you are constantly overwhelmed at work because you have difficulty saying no to colleagues' requests. Prioritizing yourself means recognizing your limitations and establishing clear limits. By learning to say no assertively, you protect your time and energy, allowing yourself to focus on your own tasks and needs. This not only improves your work performance, but also reduces stress and promotes a healthy work-life balance. Prioritizing self is a fundamental principle in Stoicism that promotes emotional and physical health, personal growth, and resilience. By focusing on our needs, setting limits, and valuing our well-being, we become more capable of facing challenges and living according to our values. Honesty and self-protection make us stronger, while courage and a commitment to continuous growth lead us to a full and meaningful life. Adopting this Stoic practice allows us to live in an authentic and balanced way, benefiting not only ourselves but also those around us. Adopting these 7 Stoic rules will help you control your emotions and live a more balanced and happy life. Remember, the key to inner peace and personal growth lies in our own hands. If you like this content, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and share with your friends. Leave a comment below and tell us how you are applying these rules in your life. Continue the Stoic journey and release the strong human within you. To the next